Rolls-Royce. Pull up to the curb and the presence hits you. This isn't a car. It's a mansion on wheels. But here's what you might not expect. A brand this legendary was basically forced into existence by a total piece of junk. In 1904, an engineer named Henry Royce was driven up the wall by his brand new car. Something was always rattling, shaking, or just plain off. In a fit of rage, he decided to build his own. What he came up with was a two-cylinder automobile, the very first seed of Rolls-Royce, the 10 horsepower. It ran whisper quiet and buttery smooth. Then a nobleman car dealer named Charles Rolls took it for a spin and made up his mind on the spot. "I found the best engineer in all of Britain." Just like that, the duo clicked. One built like a madman, the other sold at insane prices. But what really shoved Rolls-Royce onto the throne was the Silver Ghost. Launched in 1907, originally called the 40/50 horsepower, it earned that cool name because it ran as silently as a ghost, wrapped in silver bodywork. The absolute flex? They ran a balls-to-the-wall endurance test 24,000 kilometers, and the engine didn't miss a beat. That single stunt got the Silver Ghost crowned the best car in the world. Think of it as the original icon, the god-tier model that started it all. After the Silver Ghost, Rolls-Royce kicked off its most legendary bloodline, the Phantom series. The first Phantom arrived in 1925, codenamed the Eastern Armored Car, packing a 7.7-liter straight six. Hot on its heels, the second-generation Phantom debuted in 1929, sitting lower on its chassis. To get that paint to pop just right, they actually mixed in crushed herring scales. Sunlight would make it shimmer with a pearlescent glow. Obsessive doesn't even begin to cover it. In 1936, the third Phantom rolled out with a massive 7.3-liter V12 Heart. It was the last project Sir Henry Royce personally oversaw before he passed. Unfortunately, the world was a mess at the time, so only a little over 700 were built. Once the war was over, Rolls-Royce dropped a bomb in 1950, the fourth-generation Phantom, made exclusively for the British Queen. How exclusive? They outright declared only heads of state could buy one. Over 6 years, just 18 were produced, the ultimate holy grail for collectors. By 1959, the fifth Phantom stepped into the modern age with a V8 engine and an automatic transmission. John Lennon of the Beatles bought one and turned the back seat into a rock and roll den, complete with a double bed and a record player. Then came the sixth-gen Phantom in 1968. It stuck around for over 20 years, the longest-running Phantom of them all. And we can't skip a key player from this era, the Silver Shadow, launched in 1965. It was the first Rolls-Royce to use unibody construction, finally ditching that old body-on-frame dinosaur. The thing sold like crazy, nearly 35,000 units in under 2 decades, making it the undisputed volume king. After 1980, the Silver Spirit and Silver Spur stepped in. One standard wheelbase, one stretched. If you saw a mob boss in a Hong Kong flick back then, 9 times out of 10 they were rolling in one of these two. The Silver Seraph arrived in 1998. It was the final new model from the purely British era. That same year, the brand went through a messy divorce. Volkswagen bought the factory and Bentley, while BMW spent relatively little and walked away with the name Rolls-Royce and the spirit of ecstasy hood ornament. Under BMW's wing, the 7th-gen Phantom burst onto the scene in 2003, announcing the return of the king. In 2017, the 8th-generation Phantom took over and still sits at the top of the pyramid today. But they didn't stop there. To get a little more down to earth, Rolls-Royce launched the Ghost in 2010, a more approachable, driver-friendly model that immediately became the brand's bestseller. In 2013, the Wraith showed up, a fastback coupe version of the Ghost dripping with sports attitude. The Dawn followed in 2015, blending open-top freedom with outright opulence. Then in 2018, Rolls-Royce did the unthinkable and built an SUV, the Cullinan. It instantly became the king of SUVs and still regularly accounts for more than half of the brand's total sales. More recently, the Spectre arrived in 2023 as the marque's first all-electric coupe, ushering this century-old aristocrat, a little unsteadily but with total conviction, into the electric era. From a 2-cylinder hand-built car hammered together in a workshop in 1904, to the all-electric Spectre that today starts at a few $100,000 and rockets off in near silence, Rolls-Royce has been at this for over a century, and the core playbook hasn't changed one bit. Push the machine to the absolute extreme. Cost be damned, then carve a soul straight to the bone with stories. Back when the Silver Ghost ran 24,000 kilometers practically non-stop, they tore the engine down and found the parts barely even worn. The 4th-gen Phantom? 6 years. Only 18 built. Money couldn't get you one. It was strictly reserved for heads of state. Fast forward to today, and the leather in a Cullinan is still sourced only from high alpine bulls, raised where mosquitoes don't bite the hides. Over 1,000 optical fibers in the Starlight headliner, still hand-stitched one by one by a single artisan. In the age of the assembly line, that level of obsession is borderline insane, but Rolls-Royce has stuck with it anyway. And then the stories. The Double R badge is a footnote to friendship. 2 founders intertwined. You and me and you. The Spirit of Ecstasy was originally inspired by a hushed-up extramarital affair, yet somehow she got recast as the very picture of noble grace. Now, the all-electric Spectre strips away engine vibration entirely. The cabin goes quieter than it has ever been. Isn't that the exact ghostly silence that's been baked into the brand's DNA since the Silver Ghost? The drivetrain has changed, but the obsession with crafting machinery as fine art hasn't budged an inch. So this myth was always going to keep being written, only quieter, smoother, and a hell of a lot more thrilling.